The Northwest Wall, Portsmouth Harbour, the last berth for Illustrious in what had been her home for so many years. The paint a bit battered, many salvageable parts had been removed. And for former crew members like Pete McFadden and Phil Currier, it was sad.
I was a little bit amazed to see that, you know, the funnel top's taken off and a lot of the paintwork stripped off. She's looking a bit bare, but she still looks good. She still looks good in a picture.
Pete joined the ship straight out of the builder's yard in Newcastle in 1982, and she was rushed into service. And now, as he looks at Lusty, he remembers those days.
I think the whole ship's company, top down, from the skipper down, the morale was brilliant, you know, and it was just a fantastic time. There were sad times, but overall, that's my memory, a really, really good ship's company.
And leading that ship's company in '82 was Captain Jock Slater. Now Admiral Sir Jock Slater, a former First Sea Lord, he was undaunted by the task of getting the ship into service.
Well, you obviously feel enormous responsibility. But after all, don't forget, I'd been in the Navy by that stage for a large amount of time, and I'd served in an aircraft carrier HMS Victorious before. I knew what life was like in a big ship. I knew what the captain in those days did and how he did it. And I learned a lot during the course of my career running up to that great moment of being offered the command of Illustrious.
HMS Illustrious saw many firsts in her time. His film of the commissioning, which happened at sea on the way down to the Falklands, the only time that's happened in the Royal Navy's history. And then the important role she'd set out to do.
We relieved Invincible in the South Atlantic 70 days and 70 nights after leaving the Tyne, and that was some record. Stanley had just been taken in the Falklands a few days before, so the interest in the Royal Navy was immense, and so the interest in Illustrious, which was the next generation, was huge. But it was a very, very exciting moment to get out there.
All memories now, but good ones, especially of life on board.
Well, it's like a small town, if you think about it. I mean, it's got its engineering department, it's got its electrical department, or whatever it might be, the weapons department, it's got its supply department, it's got every single department you can think of. It's got the air engineers, each part a very, very important aspect, all brought together like a small town. And if they're all working in the right direction, and if they're all doing what needed to be done, and if they all see what the purpose is, and of course it was quite clear to us what our purpose was, to relieve Invincible and then maintain the air defence in the South Atlantic until the runway at Stanley could be extended.
HMS Illustrious remained in service until 2014. Spending 5 years aboard in the ship's middle age, Phil Currier remembers his time fondly.
As they say, you meet blokes and you meet friends, and they are true friends that you may not see them for years, but when you meet again, it's as if that was only 5 minutes ago, and it's all because of that great lady there, and she is a great lady.
And there's nothing like serving on an aircraft carrier?
Nah, I actually had two. I actually had Hermes, and she came out and met us.
We had the chance to salute the flagship Hermes as she steamed up Channel on her return from the war.
We were steaming up the English Channel, and then this lady came out and she steamed past us, and they did that famous turn to the left from us. Still got the photos of it, and still remember seeing her going past. Thought, wow, what a ship! And there it was. She was my last ship.
With Pete, Phil and Sir Jock, their service with Illustrious was extremely special, and you get the feeling that it helped shape them as the men they are.